Should you rent or buy a home? It's the most debated personal finance question of the past decade, and most of the advice out there is either oversimplified, outdated, or driven by someone who profits from your decision. Today, we're going to cut through all of that with real numbers. Here's what we'll cover: the true cost of both options, including every hidden fee nobody mentions, the break even point, how long before buying actually starts to win, 5 personal factors that tip the decision one way or the other, and 3 questions you need to answer before you make your choice. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear, data-backed answer for your specific situation. Let's go. Before we get to the numbers, let's kill the most dangerous myth in personal finance. Renting is throwing money away. You've heard it. Maybe someone in your family said it, but here's the problem: it's only half the story. Yes, your rent payment goes to a landlord, but your mortgage payment? Most of it goes to the bank as interest. On a $300,000 loan at 6.5%, you'll pay over $300,000 in interest over 30 years. Add property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, and homeowners throw away over $500,000 over the same period. That doesn't mean renting wins. It means both sides have costs that don't build equity. The question is, which option leaves you with more wealth at the end? That's what we're actually trying to answer. To compare properly, we need to look at the true monthly cost of each option, not just the headline numbers. The true cost of renting is your monthly rent plus renter's insurance minus the opportunity value of investing the money you're not tying up in a down payment. In our example, that's roughly $1,815 a month. The true cost of buying is your mortgage payment plus property tax plus homeowner's insurance plus PMI if you put down less than 20%, plus a maintenance reserve. On a $300,000 home with 20% down, that's approximately $2,247 a month. Buying costs $432 more per month than renting in this example. That gap is critical because it tells us exactly how long it takes for buying to break even. And that gap is what the renter can invest every single month. Let's make this concrete. Same city, same budget. 2 options. Option A, rent a comparable home for $1,800 a month. Option B, buy at $300,000, 20% down, 6.5% interest rate, 30-year term. After 5 years, the renter has paid $108,900 in total housing costs. The buyer has paid $134,820. Renting is cheaper by $25,920. After 10 years, the gap closes significantly. The renter has paid $236,700. The buyer has paid $247,440. Still cheaper to rent, but the buyer has been building equity. After 20 years, the story flips. The buyer's net worth from home equity has grown dramatically. But here's the twist. If the renter invested that $400 monthly gap into an index fund at 7% annual return, they also built significant wealth. After 20 years, it's surprisingly close. This is why the break-even point matters so much. The break-even point is the single most important number in the rent versus buy decision. It's the moment when buying stops being more expensive than renting and starts making you wealthier. For our $300,000 example, with $1,800 rent and the standard assumptions, the break-even point is 4.2 years. Before 4.2 years, renting saves you money. After 4.2 years, buying starts pulling ahead. If you're not sure you'll stay for at least 5 years, the math often favors renting. If you know you're planning routes for a decade or more, buying usually wins. But here's what moves that number. Higher rent pushes break-even earlier, meaning buying looks better sooner. Higher home prices push break-even later. A higher interest rate pushes break-even later. And the higher your home appreciates, the sooner buying wins. Every market is different. Your break-even point could be 2 years or 12 years. That's exactly why you need to run your own numbers, which we'll show you how to do at the end. The math is only part of the equation. Here are 5 personal factors that determine which option is right for you. Factor 1. How long will you stay? Moving to sell a home costs 8 to 10% of the home's value in fees and lost equity. If there's any chance you will move within 3 years, renting almost always wins financially. Factor 2. The price to rent ratio in your city. Take the home price and divide it by the annual rent for a comparable property. Below 15, buying is likely smart. Above 20, renting often wins. In San Francisco and New York, ratios above 30 are common, meaning renting frequently makes more financial sense. Factor 3, job and life stability. Buying locks you in. If your career might take you somewhere new, if you might need to care for a family member, or if your relationship status could change, that flexibility is worth real dollars. Factor 4, your down payment. Buying with less than 10% down adds PMI, a higher interest rate, and leaves you with almost no equity cushion. In most cases, it's worth waiting until you have 20%. Factor 5, local market conditions. In overheated markets, buying may mean overpaying for an asset that appreciates slowly. In stable or growing markets with reasonable price to rent ratios, buying is a much stronger financial move. Before you make your decision, answer these 3 questions honestly. Question 1, how long do you plan to stay in this home? If less than 3 years, rent. Full stop. The transaction costs alone make buying a losing proposition. If 3 to 7 years, it depends on your market. If 7 or more years, buying likely wins in most cities. Question 2, what is the price to rent ratio where you want to live? You can calculate this in 2 minutes. Find a home you'd want to buy. Find what it would rent for. Divide the purchase price by the annual rent. Under 15 is a green light for buying. Above 20 is a strong signal to keep renting. Question 3, do you have 20% down payment plus 6 months of emergency savings plus closing costs? If yes, you're financially ready. If you only have 5 to 10%, the numbers rarely work in your favor. If you're still building savings, renting while you invest is often the smarter move. The best way to get a definitive answer for your specific situation is to run it through our free rent versus buy calculator at fin-calculator.io. It takes less than 2 minutes. Enter your local home price, your down payment amount, the current interest rate in your area, your monthly rent, how long you plan to stay, and your expected rent increase per year. The calculator instantly shows you your break-even point, total cost of each option over any time horizon, and a clear recommendation based on your inputs. You can test different scenarios in seconds. What if you only stay 3 years instead of 10? What if rates drop to 5%? What if rent increases 5% a year instead of 3? Every single change updates instantly. No sign up, no email, no paywall. It's completely free at fin-calculator.io. Link is in the description. Now you know the true cost of both options, how to calculate your break-even point, the 5 factors that make one option smarter than the other, and 3 questions that can clarify your decision today. Try the free rent versus buy calculator at fin-calculator.io. The link is right below this video. If this gave you clarity, please subscribe. We publish a new money breakdown every single week. And share this with a friend or family member who's trying to make this decision. It might save them tens of thousands of dollars. See you in the next one.